What hurts at first, but feels good after a few seconds. Rolling tennis balls under your feet after a 10-hour shift. Where's my kitchen bros? Try a frozen water bottle in a fluffy sock. Arch massage plus icing the offended tendons. Offended tendons would be an epic band name. Rubbing hat hair. After our wedding, I took out dozens and dozens of hairpins and my hair hurt so bad. I then spent the next few minutes rubbing my scalp in extreme painful ecstasy. The scritchy as you get your roots to wiggle around. No longer confined by pins and elastic. It's an indescribable sensation. Yeah, I used to dance, and after a performance taking my bun out was the best part. Deep tissue massage. Damn right. I love very firm pressure on the knots under my shoulder blades. If I'm not sore the next day it wasn't enough. That sore, loosened up feeling is the best. Learned that knot is usually your rhomboid. Personally found finding the name of it helped to look up stretches. Also, if you've never tried it, put a lacrosse ball on a carpet floor, then lay on it and put it right on that knot. I'm a massage therapist, and I have to recommend you put a ball in a long sock. Sling it over your shoulder and use the sock to position the ball to your preference, and then lean against the wall. This way you are in control of the pressure and gain increased control over the ball's position. It might feel good to go full hog on the pressure and just lay with all your weight on the ball, but believe me, control is your friend. Use the sock to lower or hoist the ball up, and try to keep pressure to where it feels good and painful at the same time. Generally don't go for a painful feeling that later gives away to a pleasurable feeling, but instead give your body time to react and increase pressure incrementally. Damn, putting the ball in a sock is gonna be a game changer. I'm always trying to sit with the ball against my back, but it wriggles around and falls. I give up after 2 minutes. The sock is genius. Happy cake day, by the way. Ending a bad relationship. Ducking this. I just ended a 10-year relationship I should have ended 3 years ago. It still hurts, but I know it was the right choice. I'm in the process of ending a 7.5-year relationship. Have to live together today. I'll earn December cause of lease. The hardest part is knowing how much I still care, but also knowing it's the right decision. It's a pretty amicable split, but it's still really hard to live with your ex while trying to get over them. Some people are making suggestions that are unrealistic for me, so I'm just going to explain a bit more. While I understand the situation must look weird from an outside perspective, it is what works for us right now. We are in the process of ending our relationship, and neither of us are dating or even thinking about dating, so sleeping in the same bed works for now. Our schedules are completely different, so we don't even sleep at the same time most of the time anyway. We live with 2 other roommates, and the couch that you are suggesting he or I sleep on is very small and not something someone can sleep on every night for 8 months. For financial reasons, neither of us can move out until our lease goes up in December. Thank you to everyone that's been supportive, understanding, and caring. It means the world to me, because no one in my personal life really understands. Having an abscess drained. Had an abscessed tonsil, and any touch caused throbbing pain. When the doctor put the scalpel to it, I almost screamed very bad with a knife in your throat. But the ecstasy I felt once he was cut open and drained is unmatched by anything other than sex and a few drugs. As someone dealing with chronic tonsil stones, thank you for the new tonsil related fear you have given me. Taking off tight shoes after walking the entire day. Taking a high and tight ponytail out after a long day. Oh hell yeah. Except for when it leaves a ghost ponytail. Ugh, I hate the ghost ponytail. Always have to wash my hair after wearing a ponytail all day because it won't go away otherwise, even with a flat iron. Lying on the floor after a long day of standing up. Complete agony at first. Grammar. Yup. Random muscles flex and tense up. Back starts cracking. Arms feel like jello, then boom, complete decompression, and it feels good. Duck. This is how I realize I'm old. I mean, I've felt this more in my teens and 20s than I do now. Though TBF, I did more standing based job sports compared to today. I'm 18 and my back does this when I lay on the floor and I have constant back pain. I quit playing video games over a year ago because I was sitting too much, but there hasn't been any improvement yet. I'm ducked. It ain't going to get much better by just cutting video games. Most important thing is back posture and a good chair. If you can keep your back straight or at least mostly straight, and then you have a good chair that gives ample support for both your back and bottom, then you'll be able to sit for much longer periods of time without getting tired near as quickly. It'll be a slow process, but eventually your body will sort itself out to some extent. The main thing to not do is end up hurting yourself by trying to force yourself to keep your back straight all the time. It's important to let your body decompress every now and then, and keeping your back straight all day will make your back even more sore than just relaxing and slouching all day. I'm 20 and I've dealt with the same problem before, but I just started consciously sitting up straighter over time and got myself a better chair with more support. Half of what I do on a daily basis is on the computer now, and I barely feel much back pain until much later in the day. It'll be okay, man. Just give yourself time and it'll sort itself out with a little help on your end. Thank you. I appreciate the advice a lot. I got a standing desk to help me out because I'm at my computer a lot as well. So unfortunate that we are cursed with this at such a young age. As someone who has dealt with back pain since I was a preteen, I swear by the 3 P's. Pull-ups, push-ups, planks. Make a daily routine of those 3. Only takes 5 minutes. Pull-ups decompress the spine and strengthen all the related muscles. Push-ups and planks strengthen them too. You should also stretch every day. Learn some basic yoga. After doing this for a while, I'm so much better off than I was. I experience less back pain now as a 30-something-year-old than I did as a 16-year-old. When you really need a pee and can finally unload. I have had both. Holding it for so long and the release is amazing. But also if I had to hold it forever, I've had it not fully release. Like I've been holding the valve closed for forever so it won't fully open, and it's a trickle. This is the worst. When the nerve block needle goes in before surgery. Oh dear god. Needle to numb a wound before stitches was the worst pain I've ever felt. As a fat dude, riding my bike. Cracking joints. Particularly ankles and wrists for me. My elbows are the worst. It's when I get the resistance to open, and then they finally crack. Brings me to my knees, and then it feels good. My knees occasionally do it too, but it's usually my elbows. I know exactly that feeling. Finally someone said it. My elbows do it quite a bit at work, and man, the feeling after it hurts is the best. Very interesting. I have never had my elbow crack, nor have I ever spoken with or heard of someone that has. So basically it's like popping your knuckles, but it's your elbow and it hurts right when you do it, but then it feels good. Vomiting. Feels bad when you are doing it, but afterwards, you feel so much more relieved. The feeling of having to vomit is way worse than when you finally do. Was a huge proponent of just pulling the trigger during college if I was in bed and got the spins after a night out. Dragging yourself to take a shower. I don't think people understand how much mental health can just block you from basic things like taking a shower and eating. It's like disturbing your state for anything is agonizing, but the second you do so, you're like, I wish I had done this hours ago. Depression affected me this way between 2014 and 2019, and though I'm out of the depression, I've not been able to regain my old hygiene schedule. I'm fortunate in that I don't smell bad or anything like that, but I'd still like to be able to go back to a normal showering and brushing teeth schedule. I'm the same way. I downloaded an app that lets you set daily tasks and build a streak for completing them, but even that doesn't do it every time. It's not that I don't care if my hair is greasy or if I'm breaking out. I just get really distracted or depressed and it just doesn't seem like a priority. Getting your earwax professionally cleaned out. They use this special ear stick thing to take out the earwax, and it scratched the sides of your ears and at first it hurts, but oh my lord, it feels so damn good after a minute. As someone that was a professional earwax remover, that enjoyment is entirely one-sided. I almost vomited a few times during cleanings. Probably one reason I don't do them anymore. Man. This makes me feel bad, because I have been wanting to get my ears properly cleaned for a while. Oh, don't feel bad. That's just part of the job. There's a lot of icky things in medical practice. Getting out of bed. There's countless times I wanted to sleep in, because I was tired. I pushed myself to get out, and it's not as bad anymore. I get out of bed for many reasons and I feel like it never gets better. I'm just counting down the time to be able to take a nap or something similar. I could get back in bed. Please share with me the secret to making it not so bad, because I'm struggling here. Throw me a lifesaver. Stop hoarding your secrets. To be honest, I don't think there is such thing as making it not so bad. Although, I did read something on Instagram before saying that if it's hard to get out of bed, it's because you need motivation or something along those lines. Start having a reason on why you need to get out of bed. But overall, I really don't think there is a secret. I'll be honest with you. My sleeping schedule is really bad. Some nights I stay up until 3 AM and only get 3 hours of sleep before school. I'm tired as hell in the morning. But once I get up, I can't go back to sleep. I'm still tired within the first 30 minutes or so. But after that it's not that bad for me. Getting an ingrown toenail taken care of. I had to have surgery. Lost my big toenails. But now I never have to worry about it again. The sheer relief of that pain and pressure is great. Yeah, just have to endure the cutting. I've had that surgery 3 times and mine still grew back ingrown. I just do the surgery myself now. Hurts like a bitch. But it's not as expensive as having them fix what they ducked up in the first place. Now that hurt to read knowing how it's done. When her leg falls asleep and it wakes up, the shit is pure agony for like 2 minutes. But it feels so good when you finally have feeling in her leg again. When you wake up and your arm is asleep because of your head, you realize how heavy a single limb is. You have to use your good arm to drag it from under the pillow. Putting aftershave onto a face covered with small cuts. I have sensitive skin and the hand to eye coordination of a 3-year-old. I challenge your eye hand coordination with mine, which is equal to an agitated gnat with Parkinson's. Taking a long piss after you've been holding it in for a while. You get that painful feeling in the first couple of seconds. But after that it quickly turns into a feeling of euphoria. Depends, I found, if it's held for too long or dribbles out and isn't a pleasant experience. That first drink of water after a binge drink, when it sinks into your gut and pries open the dried as shit passage to your stomach. Then it opens up to an ungodly sense of freedom and refreshment. And then as that all-consuming thirst subsides, your brain opens up channels to process the headache, nausea, anxiety, and general physical discomfort that will keep you from the rest you so desperately need. Piercings. In my experience, when I got my nostril and septum done, there was initial discomfort, but my body's endorphins kicked in, so I felt no more pain after the initial stabs. But when the endorphins wear off, it sucks. Squeezing a painful pimple. It's like this lump on my face hurts. Give it a little it. Ow ow ow. Then finally it lets go in a gush of relief and pus that spews across time and space to splatter onto the mirror like silly string. Even as you are still applying pressure and feeling the stream of liquid chunkiness in your fingers. Then finally the stream of goop is exhausted, and you spend a moment looking at the biohazard splattered on the bathroom mirror. The tiny dribble on your cheek that didn't reach escape velocity, and you think, maybe there's more in there, and you start to squeeze again from a new angle. But alas, you can't ring the same bell twice, and you give up knowing that you've just experienced one of maybe 5 really good pimple squeezing of your life, and it's enough for now. Mostly because you're not going to clean the mirror. Cleaning up once you're done, you go like, damn, was this always this good looking? And after a week you get everything back to being dirty. Getting a tattoo. The first seconds are pretty weird, then it is quite relaxing until you get to joints or 5-hour mark. 2 things come to mind. 1, letting your hair down after it's been tied up back tightly for way too long. And then moving your hair in the opposite direction of what it was prior. 2, rubbing out shin splints with intense pressure. Feels so good bad all at the same time. Drinking water after chewing gum. If you're thirsty, the water is refreshing. But you get the opposite of that hotness spicy food gives. And it ducking hurts. I've never not enjoyed water after gum. Strictly a positive sensation for me. When you take your high heels off and it hurts so bad, but feels so good when the pain starts to subside. Dabs. If you enjoyed this video and want more Ask Reddit related content, click subscribe and hit the notification bell.